3, 2, 1.
Jane Elliott queria demonstrar para os seus alunos como que era o racismo nos Estados Unidos e como os negros eram tratados. Então ela fez uma experiência totalmente imersiva que nós vamos acompanhar agora.
It might be interesting to judge people today by the color of their eyes. Would you like to try this? Yeah! Sounds like fun, doesn't it? Since I'm the teacher and I have blue eyes, I think maybe the blue-eyed people should be on top the first day. I mean, the blue-eyed people are the better people in this room. Oh, yes, they are. Blue-eyed people are smarter than brown-eyed people. They are cleaner than brown-eyed people. And if you don't believe it, look at Brian. The brown-eyed people do not get to use the drinking fountain. You'll have to use the paper cups. You brown-eyed people are not to play with the blue-eyed people on the playground because you are not as good as blue-eyed people. Well, the brown-eyed people in this room today are going to wear collars so that we can tell from a distance what color your eyes are.
And it seemed like when we were down on the bottom, everything bad was happening to us. It seemed like Mrs. Elliott was taking our best friends away from us.
What happened at recess? Were two of you boys fighting?
Yeah! Russell called me names and I hit him in the gut.
What did he call you?
Brown eyes.
What's wrong with being called brown eyes?
It means that we're stupider. No, not that. Oh, that's just the same way as other people call black people niggers.
Is that the reason you hit him, John? Did it help? Did it stop him?
The first reaction I get from teachers who see this film or from who hear me discuss what I do say to me, how can you do that to these little children? How can you put those little children through that exercise for a day? And they seem unable to relate the sympathy that they're feeling for these little white children for a day to what happens to children of color in this society for a lifetime, or to the fact that they are doing this to children based on skin color every day, and I'm only doing this as an exercise that every child knows is an exercise, and every child knows is going to end at the end of the day.
Let's take these collars off. What would you like to do with them?
Throw them away.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Don't eat them like Rick.
Oh, you bound your friend, huh?
This older woman in the middle of this group stood up and said, Mrs. Elliott, I came here to tell you how much I hate you. I said, okay, well, go ahead. You know, this isn't a new experience. She said, I am Jewish. I was born and raised in Germany. She said, we went to a Jewish school. Every morning when our headmaster came in, we would bow and say, good morning, Herr Headmaster. She said, one morning he came in with 2 SS troopers. And one of the SS troopers said to us, in the future, you decadent Jews will no longer bow and say, good morning, Herr Headmaster. You will salute and say, Heil Hitler. She said, I watched those of us who valued our life more than our faith salute and say, Heil Hitler. She said, those who valued their faith more than life itself continued to bow and say, good morning, Herr Headmaster. She said, they disappeared and we never saw them again, but we know what happened to them. She said, your students are very fortunate. They will never allow to happen in their society what we allowed to happen in ours. They'll see it coming and they'll put a stop to it. Then she said something that frightens me to this day. She said, the atmosphere that you created for your students in your classroom with your blue-eyed, brown-eyed exercise reminded me of the atmosphere, the environment that the Nazis created for the Jews in Germany. Now, people of color, particularly blacks, who see the film The Eye of the Storm, which was in my classroom, the 3rd year I did the exercise, say to me when it's over, that's the way I live every day of my life. And that's in what we call the land of the free and the home of the brave. We have created an environment in this country for 11 to 12% of our population in which they feel the way the Jews felt in Nazi Germany. White people say to me, I don't see it that way. Of course they don't see it that way. They don't live it that way. We do not live the same reality in this country. White people do not live as people of color do. Now, I need to know, how did you feel about what you went through this morning? The words